That's right. Transplanting day. First, let's take a look at the transplants. All right, here are the starters. Now, these by far have been the best starts that I have had. These are just awesome. First, we have zinnias. Again, this is a Thumbelina zinnia. It's a dwarf zinnia. Probably won't get too much taller than this. Here we have basil. Oh, that's a lot of basil. Well, last year I planted one basil in a 10-gallon grow bag with 2 cayenne peppers. And that was the most productive thing in my yard besides the cucumbers. Each pot with a pepper or a tomato will have one of these in it. Now this is a compact size basil. It doesn't get really big, so that'll be perfect to ride underneath the shade of those tomatoes and peppers. All right, speaking of peppers, we got our peppers right here. Again, some of the best pepper starts I've had. This is a combination of 4 peppers. And I said in my last video, I got a King of the North bell pepper, a wild Chilean, jalapeno, and cayenne. I do have extra here, so I'll probably give some away to some of my coworkers. All right, here are the tomatoes. So we have the determinate style and semi-determinate style, or semi-indeterminate. These here are the damsel, so they will get pretty tall. Some of these got leggy on me. So I have Sweet Valentine. Then I have one Atlas. Then 2 down here. This one and this one back here. They are Roma tomato. They're called Gladiator. So last but not least, we have the Impatiens. All right, first thing first, we need to get some compost. Bought this little compost bin from Aldi a couple years ago. Trying to get my own compost. I got a little bit in there. So we'll get some of that first. Y'all can see that. Good compost. Okay, what we'll do first is try to prepare all the holes. We'll put some osmocot and compost in each hole, even the ones that I'm going to direct sow. So probably do these first and then beds over there. And I had a late addition to my cucumber. There was a comment about dill being a companion to cucumber, but I think the dill is gonna get a little too big. One thing I had a problem with last year is aphids, so I am gonna put a nasturtium in that same pot with the cucumber. This is a dwarf one, and it should spill over the side of the bag while the cucumber goes up. Okay, of course. I did that one, thought I was filming, and I wasn't. Amateur. So we will try the next one. Let's try this again. Typically what I put in my planting hole is 3 tablespoons of osmocot and a scoop of my wonderful compost. 1, 2, 3. Get it down in there and mix it up. Small scoop of compost on top of that. What we don't want is that fertilizer really pressing up against the plant. So We'll come in with this Atlas next. This one was sold inside on February 7th. Some good roots there, starting to wrap, but not yet. Get that in there. Some people break them up, but I let it do its thing and we'll backfill. I'll come back and get the basil after this. Whew, wow. That one wasn't too bad. Bad gardener. Just break it up a little bit. Last one. These I did not mark. I know that is one of the 4 that I planted, but I don't know which one is which. So. All right. Remove the leaves. Expose some of this root. We're going to try to get it planted up until about right there. So, tomatoes, peppers are all in. My idea is that from the street, that'll be like a wall of green with flowers and fruit. Someone had it come in and asked about the triangle stakes here. They're just stake poles. I think these are 48 inches. Got them from everybody's favorite online marketplace. This pack was a pack of 20. And then these are stake arms. You can just snap those off like that. I think they come in a range of 2 feet up to 6 feet 5 inches. That's how I make those triangles. I used them in my garden last year. They held up until I got too high. I think I went 3 high and that was just a bad move. Right off camera, I got all the basil in. I didn't have to use fertilizer for the basil. They would share that osmocot and compost. All right, for the planting holes where I'm going to sow, that'll be a little bit different. Obviously, the hose doesn't have to be as big as it does for putting a plant in it. So that'll be different, and we'll only use 2 tablespoons of osmocot for each pot or bag. As far as what I'm growing, these are the cucumbers, a dark cucumber. This came from Baker's Creek. This one is from Burpees. This is the summer squash, light line hybrid. And then for the nasturtiums that I'm putting in the cucumber pot, here's the nasturtium dwarf jewel, mixed colors. So for each one, I probably plant 2 or 3 seeds and then thin from there. Next, we'll do the cucumber. course, we'll water all this in with a hose the first time, and then we'll let drip take care of it after that. And nasturtium is a different looking seed. It almost looks like a okra seed, I guess. Plant depth is a 1/2 inch, so it don't have to be that deep. Just put them right there. Just cover them up, press them in, and we'll get some water on them. The flower zone, try to pack as many zinnias as I can in here, and then give most of this space to the impatiens because they'll grow out. Zinnias grow up, so just gonna lay them out to kind of see. But I think they're almost gonna be overshadowing the snapdragons, but see, my biggest problem is I like to do too much. Yeah, that's perfect. Get some of this straw back. All right, the direction on the box for 4 square feet is 1 scoopful. I don't want to go too heavy. This is probably a 2x3, so it's 6 square feet. I'll probably go a little less than a scoop. So it's a 1/2 scoop. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah. All right, now some good compost. I'll put this one right there. They're all close to emitters, so everybody get water pretty good. So now for the impatiens. All right, I got 8 impatiens here. It'll be silly to try to get them all, but I've been called silly before. Take a look at those roots. They're ready to get out of there. Okay, I've made an executive decision. We're gonna go with 6. Looks like she's already flowering. Flower zone is complete. And with that, the 8x3 is complete, at least for this stage. Now these are my reserve: 1 damsel, 1 gladiator, 1 sweet valentine, and 1 jalapeno. I have been saying it wrong all this time. It's wild chili. I don't know where I got Chilean from, but Transplant Day 2026 is in the books. Let's take a look at what we did today.